So I like Hamilton a lot. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time, partially because I've seen it in person before, back in December 2023. And to honor it, I thought it would be a great idea to rank all of his songs. For the purposes of this list, there will be 47 songs counted, including John Lawrence's death, even though the album excludes it. Also, periodically throughout the video, I will have my friends come in to talk about the songs, and they will have no idea where the songs are ranked. They'll be able to give their full and honest opinions on them. On another note, I will try to have as much footage as possible, but to avoid a copyright strike, some parts will have artist interpretation. I would also like to mention, before we start, that Hamilton, at least in my opinion, has 0 bad songs. The worst song in the musical is still a 6 out of 10, so even if one of your favorite songs is at the bottom, it doesn't necessarily make it bad. Some songs were moved up or down 20 or more spots during the ranking, and again, this ranking was all my opinion. If you disagree, that's great. I love hearing other people's opinions and points of view on things. Alright, that's enough of me blabbering. Without further ado, let's get into ranking every single song in Hamilton. Now, one thing you'll learn about me as the list goes on is that I am not a fan of the King George songs. Well, now hold on a second. Let me defend myself. I just enjoy the more story-focused parts of Hamilton rather than the more comedic parts. So some of the King George songs will be further down. Hence, the last place spot going to What Comes Next. This song just doesn't really progress the story in any meaningful way, and I think its biggest problem is that it comes right before Dear Theodosia, which just so happens to be one of my favorite songs in the musical. So before I get to listen to that, I have to listen to What Comes Next, and it honestly just feels like such a drag every time. Farmer Refuted is just kind of a pointless song. It sounds nice, just like every other song in the soundtrack. But honestly, I can't give him much praise past that. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad song, but in a playlist full of some bangers, the finger painting really isn't going to do it for me. If A Winter's Ball was longer, it would be much higher on the list. As is, the song is very short and kind of forgettable when put next to the following songs. Although, the part where Hamilton and Burr talk about how they pull the baddest woman from the 1800s is kind of hilarious and always gets a laugh from the audience, from what I've seen. Unfortunately, due to how short and honestly forgettable the song is, it's going down here. The only reason I know him is this high is because he's more gay here than any other part of the show. Seriously, look at the other 2 songs and look at this one. He is a whole fruit basket here compared to his other songs, and honestly, I kind of love it. Another intermission type song, like Winter's Ball. Not bad, but could stand to be a bit longer, though I do find Hamilton's final goodbye to his wife very touching, and kind of heartbreaking. I don't know, I might have cried or something, I don't know. Now, I know a lot of people love this song, but me personally, I could never get into it. Now, in Helpless, I think the harem line is hilarious, and That Boy Is Mine is such a good note, and there's so many good things about this song, but the song right after, unfortunately, greatly overshadows it, to the point where nearing the end of the song, I'm kind of just waiting for it to wrap up so I can get to the next one. Again, not a fault of the song itself, it's just the next song is so much better, and you'll see why later on in the list. Here comes our first guest speaker.
I chose the song Meet Me Inside, and it really shows a parent-to-child dynamic going on. This is basically when Alexander Hamilton breaks a law or a rule during a fight, and then General Washington brings him in and tries to drop knowledge on him, but he's not retaining it because he's too prideful of himself. But General Washington made it clear that he's not just saying this to have a punishment onto Alexander Hamilton. It's more of protection, and Hamilton does not retain it as that. So, I don't know, it just felt really relatable to me in that sense, and his pride really got into the way, and he finally realized that General Washington was right. So, yeah.
Scout Defeated shows Burr becoming more manipulative and how we... Manipulative. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to say. Skylar Defeated shows Burr becoming more manipulative. Scout Defeated shows Burr becoming more manipulative and how he's still trying to appeal to Hamilton even after kicking his father law out of the Senate. The song only suffers from the same problem as some of the earlier ones had, where it's just far too short. If it was longer, it definitely would have been higher, however. Unfortunately, sometimes that's how it goes. The welcome, folks, holds so much power that this song would have if it was longer. That's such a good opening to the Adams administration, and if it was tied to a longer song, I would strongly believe that it would rank super high. The amount of references in this song to other songs is insane. Plus, Hamilton getting really mad is always so good. And I will never not be mad that they cut the rap part of this song out, where Hamilton is talking about John Adams. It's so good. Please go listen to it. It's on YouTube somewhere. The story of tonight is the calm after the storm that is My Shot. My Shot is such a big number in the show, and this song seems to be the slowing down right after. It serves its purpose of showing Hamilton grow closer to these people he would consider his first group of friends, and showcases the trust being built between them. The reprise is slightly better than the original, only because the guys are more drunk, and I find that more funny. Other than that, another slower song that builds more on the friendship/rivalry between Hamilton and Burr. Also, I found the "oh shit" line very funny.
In the eye of a hurricane.
Okay, all jokes aside, this song is really compelling, but that doesn't necessarily make it amazing. Lynn's singing here really hurts the song, since I, along with many others, don't love his singing voice, and I definitely prefer it when he raps. This song is good, however, in showing Hamilton's morals, and how he believes he can write his way out of any situation he finds himself in. He genuinely believes that it's better that people know that he's cheating on his wife than people suspecting that he might be possibly stealing from the bank. Seriously. Take a Break starts with a cute part between Philip and Eliza playing the piano, before transitioning to Hamilton writing letters to Angelica, before both parts come together in an amazing mix of vocals. Unfortunately, the ending is the only real spectacular part of the song. Everything else is just good, but nothing to write home about. That Would Be Enough is a nice, soft song between Eliza and Hamilton about how she wants to be enough for him. But as we see earlier in the play, he will never truly be satisfied and still wants to fight, not realizing what is right in front of him. This song is really good, however, this musical has a lot of really good songs, so some need to be near the bottom. Time for our second guest speaker.
Okay, today we have You'll Be Back from Hamilton. It is a witty and unforgettable song that masterfully blends humor, historical satire, and pop sensibility. Performed by Jonathan Groff as King George III, the song offers a hilarious and over-the-top portrayal of a monarch scorned by rebellion. With its bouncy, Beatles-inspired melody and tongue-in-cheek lyrics, it cleverly contrasts the light-hearted tune with possessive and controlling sentiments, highlighting the absurdity of the king's point of view. Groff's theatrical delivery and impeccable timing bring the character to life, making the song both comical and catchy. It serves as a brilliant comedic interlude in the musical while still contributing its broader themes of power, loyalty, and independence.
Side note, my friend Eli wrote this part but didn't want their voice in the video, which is completely fine. So this is their thoughts, not mine.
It has to be one of my favorite songs in the whole musical. The sole reason is that it really shows the differences between Burr and Hamilton. You can already tell in the beginning of the song. Hamilton talks in a more excited and fast manner compared to Burr. It really shows the motto that Burr lives die. In the musical, talk less, smile more. While in the song Hamilton is talking to him a lot, he tends to only respond in short sentences. The song really sets up Hamilton and Burr as two opposing forces even before they started to have issues. He starts the song off by being really entranced with Burr and asking him a lot of questions, but at the end he begins questioning him. All in is legit just a peak song.
The second, and in my opinion, much worse cabinet battle. Now, that's not to say it's a bad song per se. It does have some really good parts, with Hamilton starting off his verse screaming, and the escalation feels a lot quicker in this one compared to the first cabinet battle. Also, the "Daddy's Calling" line is so good. It shows the hidden rage behind every exchange between the two. What Did I Miss is a bombastic opening to Act 2, perfectly introducing Thomas Jefferson and showing his sarcastic, gay attitude. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison's relationship is one of my favorite in the play, and this song introduces it very nicely. Overall, just a great song. Say No to This has one of the best escalations in any song in this show, starting very calm with Hamilton being tired and ending with a bombastic duet between Hamilton and Mariah Reynolds, before ending calm again. This song's progression is one of its best aspects. However, some parts do feel kind of dragged out, which is why I can't put it any higher. This song is so good. For about 3 seconds. Your obedient servant struggles so much from being so short. But it does really show Burr's final breaking point and how, at this point, he will do anything to be better than Hamilton. Even while the song is told through letters Hamilton and Burr were sending to each other, especially near the end, you start to feel like they're talking directly to each other. The only thing really bringing this song down is that it just should have been longer. But for what it is, this isn't a half-bad spot. We Know is a great confrontational song between what we, as an audience, have come to know as the three main villains of the musical versus Hamilton with the information that they know. My friend Ethan actually pointed out to me something about this song that I had never noticed before. This song has one of the best flowing rap parts in the musical, with the I've kept a record of every check in my checkered history part of the song. And going back and rewatching it for this video, I definitely agree. Ooh, the election of 1800. I want to like you so much more than I actually do. I love the Burr and Hamilton parts, and the unexpectedness of Hamilton not voting for Burr. But I feel like the song goes on for too long. This is a very rare case in this musical, but the song is dragged out just a little bit in my opinion, and nearing the end, I'm usually just waiting for the end of the song. And I think that's because of Jefferson. As we'll see later in the song, it's not the only one he drags out. And even then, it's still a great song with some great lyrics and even greater plot developments. The Reynolds pamphlet. If you look up the definition of mixed feelings on Wikipedia, an image of the song shows up. I love the Jefferson, Burr, and Madison parts, but as soon as Angelica enters this song, she just starts to piss me off. I swear to God, I'm not the only one here. See? She says, put what we had aside, acting like she wasn't doing the exact same thing with Hamilton just through the letter. And I would be fine with this if the musical acknowledged that she was in the wrong. People can be justified while still being in the wrong. People aren't just good or evil, but the play doesn't even try and make it more nuanced. It just portrays Angelica as in the right when she clearly isn't. Angelica is the worst written character in the musical from a character standpoint, in my opinion, and I will stand by that. And I hate that her sister Eliza is the second best written character. We'll get into the best later, but overall, I really don't like how Angelica is portrayed here. But unfortunately, everything else here is a banger. The 10 Dual Commandments, possibly one of the most well-known songs in Hamilton, and for a good reason. It's a fun song with some really great parts. One of my favorites is when Hamilton and Burr are debating the morality of the situation. It really shows their personalities at this point in the show and how they kind of switch over time. This song doesn't have a name. It's not on the album, but it's when John Lawrence dies and he's singing while Eliza reads his father's letter to Hamilton. You can also see Hercules Mulligan and Lafayette reacting in the background. It's a very sad scene that unfortunately ends too soon, in my opinion. The song Dear Theodosia is a heartfelt song where Burr and Hamilton sing to their children about how much they love them. The song doesn't serve much plot relevance besides showing the audience that Hamilton and Burr have children now, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to be a good song, and I think it accomplishes that greatly. The Schuyler Sisters is an amazing introduction song to Angelica and Eliza's characters, and has one of the best endings to a song in the show, in my opinion. Also, Angelica is great here, because she isn't trying to get her sister to cheat on her husband with her. That's all she needed to do. Blow Us All Away is one of the most underrated songs in Hamilton. Anthony Ramos plays an amazing and charismatic Philip Hamilton, and I love the detail where, in an earlier song, he can't say the number 7 in French, so in this song, he gets shot on the number 7 in the duel at the end. The first, and much better cabinet battle. The intro is so hype when you see it on Broadway. Hamilton getting really mad at the end is always great, and the Imagine they call for your removal part is amazing as well. It really shows the growing tension at this point in the show. And for our third guest speaker,
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm not home right now, as you can see. But Washington on Your Side, good song, fire song. I like the every action has its equal opposite. Like the Jefferson's verse, fire. I'm in a cabinet, I ain't complicit. Watching that's fire. The court, it must be nice. I think everything about this song is fire. Yeah, it's cool how it's funny how like they got like the alliance like Burr, Jefferson and Madison, like how they all ganging up on Hamilton. They talking mash. They talking like right, and they're talking about like how Hamilton's effing up the government, I guess, and it's basically a diss track. So that's also makes it hard. The Beast Fire. Yeah. My personal rating. I'll give it like a 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 or like 9. Like it's a really good song. Yeah, very balanced. Yeah. Yeah, go listen to it now. Yeah. It's one of my top 3 favorite songs. It's one of my top like 3 songs, including like Nonstop and Room Where It Happened. Yeah, it's like those 3 songs. Oh, and Cabinet Battle 2, that's fire. Those 4 songs. Yeah. It gets reprised. And yeah. Alright. Yep. Alright. Yeah. It's but yeah, go listen to the song. Go listen to the song. Fire song.
the reprise of Stay Alive is possibly the most stressful song in the show. The parts where Hamilton and Eliza are rushing to their dying son, and Eliza singing with Philip in his final moments are so heartbreaking. Also in this song, remember how in the earlier song, he died in number 7 because he couldn't count to 7, but he got shot in number 7. In this one, he dies in number 7. That was off script, if you couldn't tell. And the song right after isn't much better in terms of being sad. It's Quiet Uptown is so heartbreaking because of what just happened. And Eliza giving no reaction while Hamilton is trying to appeal to her before choosing to forgive him for what he's done by the end is so great. Yorktown is generally considered to be one of, if not the best song in Hamilton. Now, I personally do not agree with this, however, I do believe that it is amazing. The immigrants we get the job done line is just so good. Side note, I really gotta do a ranking of all the Hamilton mixtape songs. Anyways, Yorktown is an amazing song. Not just for the music, but also the choreography in the show. Also, Hercules Mulligan's part is so iconic, and it's truly amazing. I have no problem putting it this high on the list. Stay Alive is just like Yorktown, where they are in the middle of a war, and it sells the chaoticness of it all so well. Also, I love the, I'm a general, wee. I know a lot of people love this song, but I never see it ranked too high in the grand scheme of things, which feels weird since everyone loves Yorktown. Either way, this song is still one of my personal favorites. History Has Its Eyes on You is amazing. Truly one of the most iconic songs in the show, beginning one of the main mantras of the show, that being History Has Its Eyes on Hamilton. And now he has to protect his legacy, no matter the cost. If I went into everything I love about this song, we'd be here for hours. I'm going to make a separate video on this song entirely, but until then, this is masterful in how it makes Burr out to be an anti-hero rather than a villain. And Hamilton's monologue at the end of "The World Was Wide Enough" is truly a masterpiece. Love it. Our next guest speaker will be...
So basically, the best song in Hamilton, like hands down, like Burn, okay? Like that song gets you through like anything and everything. Like, come on now. Like 7th grade breakup, middle school breakup, like I had went through like 2 of them. That song got me through each of them. Okay? Like it's just the best song, okay? And second of all, like Elizabeth Schuyler, bruh. Like I was basically named after her. Like she is my idol. Freaking Philippa Sue is a goddess. Like she owns that song. Okay? Like, sorry guys, but like you can't change my mind otherwise. Like Hamilton's best song, Burn, in that song period. Bye.
Welcome, folks, to the top 10. These are the best of the best in the show. There are some bangers in here, so let's start with The Room Where It Happened is such a good song. It's the second best song in the show to show Burr's motivations, and is still in the top 10. The absolute ensemble chaos that happens at the end after some great build-up from the beginning is amazing. And that final click boom is always so powerful and a great piece of foreshadowing. I would have had no problem putting it at the number 1 spot. However, I think the Thomas Claims part goes on for a little too long. Other than that, though, it's such an impactful song. These guest speakers just keep coming and coming. Next up is...
The song My Shot from Hamilton is a popular one, and for a good reason too. In my opinion, the song not only has some killer lyrics, but also a spunky beat with fast-paced background vocals and rapping. Some lyrics that stand out to me in this song are every burden, every disadvantage I've learned to manage. I love this message because you can see from the very beginning the struggles that Alexander Hamilton goes through, being an orphan with past trauma. Now, in this song, he expresses his character growth and his development as he faces a new chapter in his life. This song can be categorized as motivational, powerful, and uplifting. There is a loud drum beat at the end of the song that wraps it up, where Hamilton hits the classic signature Hamilton pose. This powerful stance to conclude the song finishes with a bang. This song is super fun to rap and a good challenge too. It is a true classic that every theater kid knows. Overall, I would rate this song a 10 out of 10. I have no notes, just singing notes.
I think Guns and Ships is the shortest song in the top 10, but there are seriously 0 bad moments. The beginning with Burr hyping everyone up along with Lafayette's amazing rap bit in the middle. It was the fastest song segment on Broadway for a while. And the ending with George Washington is really the cherry on top of it all. This song is so great. The only thing really holding it back, however, is how short it is. Remember how I said that I hate Angelica's character? Well, I also hate that I love Satisfied. Despite the main person singing this being a flawed character, in this song, she's at her best. It comes right after Helpless, and it makes you feel like you need a recap even though you just saw what happened. The song masterfully describes Angelica's character and lets you know her true feelings about everything going on around her. If only this song was tied to a better character. Our next guest speaker for the top 10 and our second to last guest speaker will be...
When it comes to Nonstop, it has Lin-Manuel Miranda written all over it. The constant switch between perspectives really encompasses the stress that Hamilton feels in contrast to his own struggles and motivations. I like that Burr and Hamilton, like quote-unquote beefing, has the most time in the song when it's from Burr's point of view, showing that Hamilton is generally, at least in this song, Burr's main priority. And when the song is sung from Burr's perspective, you can hear the rhythm to wait for it in the background constantly. And this reveals more of Burr's like fears and uneasiness regarding his own success as well, which is genius. However, the part with all of the vocals overlapping at the end of the song is by far my favorite. This part is from Hamilton's perspective, and it basically represents how he feels like everyone in his life is watching over him and waiting for him to make a move. Hence them all saying, history has its eyes on you. All of these people have their own opinions and morals about what Hamilton should do or what's going on in his life. Eliza wants to know what she can do for him to be enough. Angelica wants what's best for Eliza, Washington wants Hamilton to focus on his legacy, and Burr wants Hamilton to slow down so he can have some time in the spotlight. In the end, they all say that history has its eyes on him, but in reality, they mean that whatever he chooses to do, someone will be hurt and the course of his life will change, which can and will affect the people around him. Anyway, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely adore this song, and I do recommend giving it a listen, even if it's for like the billionth time, because you might find something you didn't notice before. I know this happens to me all the time. Also, if this doesn't get rated high, I will be losing my mind.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story is the perfect ending to Hamilton. It shows all the characters we've gotten to know and love talk about Hamilton. Then it cuts to Eliza telling his story and accomplishing so many things on her own. Still thinking it's not enough. And that gasp at the end, man, it's so impactful because it's never really explained what she's gasping at. And the actress that portrays Eliza and the grief she is feeling is portrayed so well in this song. An unapologetically spectacular ending to the musical. It's fitting that we went from the end of the musical straight to the beginning. Alexander Hamilton is the second best opening I've ever seen to a musical. You'll see number one in the future video. I'll use this song as an opportunity to talk about how Hamilton has what I would consider a perfect cast. I believe that no one would have been better than the OG cast in these roles. Even Hamilton, who I do not like the singing of very much, has so much power in his rapping bits that it makes up for it tenfold. And in this song, all the cast gets to introduce themselves, including Burr, who I believe is the best written character in the musical, hands down. And this number alone can show why. He's just so compelling as a character, and that I'm the damn fool that shot him, it's always so good. This song is amazing. There's not much to say that hasn't been said already. Right Hand Man. Oh boy, this song. Washington's introduction is nothing short of amazing. And Hamilton writing so quickly into so many different people is again amazing foreshadowing. But that entrance. George Washington has the biggest presence on stage in the show, in my opinion. No one else commands the stage quite like him, which we can also see in One Last Time. This song has the best beginning and ending to a song in the show. George Washington's performance here is so memorable. When I saw this on stage back in 2023, it was the first time I had ever cried at a performance. The final note was hit so perfectly, and it's really what got me super into theater as a whole. This song is so great. Then why isn't it at the top? Well, again, my main issue is that the middle drags out a bit with the letter. But other than that, perfect song. Now, I would cover the number one song, but I believe my cousin Sophia already put it perfectly.
Wait For It is my personal favorite song out of the entire Hamilton soundtrack. I think it does such an excellent job of showing us Aaron Burr's motivations and values, and I love the way it allows the audience to relate to and understand him, fleshing out his character into someone who cannot definitively be painted as a quote-unquote hero or villain. Wait For It is my personal favorite song out of the entire Hamilton soundtrack. I think it does such an excellent job of showing us Aaron Burr's motivations and values, and I love the way it allows the audience to relate to and understand him, fleshing out his character into someone who cannot definitively be painted as a quote-unquote hero or villain. The song starts softly, as Burr paints a picture of his life and upbringing. The son of a genius for a mother and a highly respected father, he claims his parents left him with a legacy to protect, showing he is proud of where he comes from and strives to fill the shoes left by his family. Despite this, he is having an affair with Theodosia, a married woman. So we're kind of seeing how Burr strives to be a noble man, while not always committing noble actions, such as his affair, an activity that is generally frowned upon by society. This song really shows us Burr's complexity and his capacity for behaving both morally and immorally, which ultimately influences the fate of both Burr and Hamilton. After the song's soft yet intense introduction, there's this explosion of sound as Burr makes a series of, in my opinion, extremely powerful statements. He says, "I am the one thing in life I can control. I am inimitable. I am an original." And then later he says, "I'm not standing still. I am lying in wait." If this part of the song doesn't give you goosebumps, I don't know what does. It emphasizes the level of intention behind all of Burr's actions, and the listener finds himself on the edge of their seat, wondering what exactly it is he is lying in wait for. At least, that's how I felt when I first heard it. When we meet him, Burr comes across as this very level-headed, calm individual. This song is a far cry from his talk less, smile more spiel heard in Aaron Burr, sir. It's exciting, seeing this great passion within Burr come out in this song. The song ends as it begins, with a soft piano melody as Burr regains his composure and returns to his level-headed self. Through this song, we finally see that under Burr's calm facade, there is a desperation for his existence to mean something, despite the unpredictability and oftentimes cruelty of life. He feels as though he is meant for something great, and now we, the audience, can't help but want to wait for it, right there with him.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. It is by far the longest and most experimental one I've ever made. But honestly, I had so much fun making it, and I hope you had as much fun watching. Hamilton is so special to me, and I hope, if you haven't already watched it, that this video inspired you to do so. Alright, that's all from me. Bye. Wait, I have one last thing. Alright, don't start. Okay, now.
Mr. President, you asked to see me?
I know you're busy.
What do you need, sir?
I want to give you a word of warning.
Sir, I don't know what you heard, but whatever it is, Jefferson started it.
Thomas Jefferson resigned this morning. Can you let me finish? Okay, just keep going. No, I'm just saying this improv. Just keep going.
What?
Just say your lines. You're kidding. I need a favor.
Whatever you say, sir. Jefferson will pay for his behavior.
Talk less. That's actually my line. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay. I'll use the press. I'll write under...
Get into frame.
I'll use the press. I'll write under a
pseudonym.
A pseudonym. You'll see what I could do.
I need you to draft an address.
Yes, he resigned. You can call, finally speak to your mind.
He's stepping down so he can run for president.
Good luck defending you, sir. Defeating you, sir. Defeating you, sir.
I'm stepping down. I'm not running for president.
I'm sorry, what?
One last time. Relax, have a drink with me. One last time. That's cough syrup. And if we get this hurt, we're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. You and I.
No, sir. Why?
I want to talk about neutrality.
Sir, with Britain and France on the verge of war,
I want to talk about partisan fighting. But pick up a pen, start writing. I want to talk about what I have learned, the hard-won wisdom I have earned. No.
As far as the people you concern, you have to serve. You continue to serve.
One last time. The people will hear from me one last time. And if we get this right, we're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. You and
Mr. President, they will say you're weak.
No, they will see we're strong.
Your position is so unique.
So we'll use it to move them along.
Why do you have to say goodbye?
Since I say goodbye, the nation learns to move on. It outlives me when I'm gone. As the scripture says, everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree. Can you tell me the line?
And no one
shall make them afraid.
They'll
be safe in this. I know the song. They'll be safe in this nation we've made. One last time.
Dude, you just missed like 2 lines.
Shut up. Keep reading.
One last time. Though I'm reviewing the instance of my admiration, I'm unconscious of intentional error. Is nothing so less too sensible of my defects, not to think it's professional. I have committed many errors, so I carry with me the hope
that my country will view them with independence, and that after 45 years of my life dedicated to this service and upright zeal, stop moving. After 45 years of the fault of this incompatibility that will be designed to oblivion, I must myself soon be mansion of rest.
articulate with pleasing expectation in retreat, in which I appreciate myself to, in pleasing expectation of retreat, in which I promise myself to realize the sweet enjoyment of partaking. And you don't sing this part. In the midst of fellow citizens, the beginning influence my good laws. Under a government object of my heart, our mutual cares, labors, and dangers.
Under a free government that ever
One last time. No. One last time.
That's what George Washington is going home.
And teach them how to say goodbye.
George Washington's going home.
You and I.
George Washington's
going home.
George Washington's going home.
History has its eyes on you. We're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. Teach them how to say goodbye. One last time. Time. You gotta say this part. Time.